Thank you for purchasing our classic cedar pergola kit. In this video, we will show you how to assemble your classic cedar pergola kit. This video is for freestanding models. If you purchased a wall-mounted model, please refer to the instructions for the wall-mounted model. We recommend 2 people to assemble your kit. Estimated assembly time ranges from 4 to 8 hours, depending on the size you ordered. No special carpentry skills are needed for assembly. About half our customers assemble their kits themselves. Most of the remainder hire a local handyman or tradesman. We offer assembly services in eastern states, and if you need assistance finding an assembler in your area, please contact us or check out our Learning Center page. The tools you will need to assemble your pergola kit are a ladder, a level, a tape measure, a cordless drill, and a pencil. If you are mounting the post brackets to concrete, you will also need a handheld hammer drill. If you don't own a hammer drill, you can rent one at your local home improvement chain. Your classic pergola kit comes with all necessary components to assemble, including post brackets, wedge bolts, post base trim, posts, corner braces, 2x8 main beams, return beams, rafters, top runners, and all necessary hardware. Please read the written assembly manual fully prior to and during assembly. The written manual contains additional information and tips and takes precedence over this video. This video is simply a supplement to the written manual. There are 5 steps to assembly. Step 1. Prepare the foundation. Step 2. Set the template and post brackets. Step 3. Set the posts. Step 4. Attach beams and rafters. Step 5. Attach top runners and corner braces. Step 1. Prepare the foundation. You must securely anchor your pergola post to a solid, level foundation. This foundation can be either a cured concrete slab, cured concrete footings under each post, or a sufficiently anchored wooden or composite deck. This video applies to options 1 and 2, fastening your posts to concrete. You cannot anchor the posts to pavers or stone. Instead, pour concrete footings below the pavers and fasten the post to the cured footings. This is beyond the scope of this video, but this image shows the typical paver arrangement post assembly. Check out our Learning Center page for more information on this common setup. If you are anchoring your post to concrete, you will use the supplied wedge bolts to anchor your post brackets to the concrete. Be sure to position the post brackets or L brackets so that the wedge bolts are 4 to 8 inches from the edge of the concrete to reduce the risk of the concrete cracking. Step 2. Set the template and post brackets. Your pergola kit includes a wooden template made of 2x4s. This template will enable you to set your post brackets so that your posts are square with each other. It is important that the posts are square with each other so that the assembly goes smoothly. To assemble the template, remove the 2x4 template pieces from the crate. Arrange the 2x4s so that they are positioned in the location of where the pergola will be assembled. 2 of the 2x4s have pencil marks near their ends. Lay these 2x4s opposite each other. Position the unmarked 2x4s against the marks and fasten with 2.5-inch screws. When the template is assembled and in position, square the template. To square the template, measure diagonally from one corner to its opposite corner. Then, measure diagonally between the other 2 corners. The 2 dimensions must be the same. Adjust the template until the diagonal measurements are identical. Once the template is square, use a pencil to mark the inside corners of the 2x4s on the concrete. Next, place your L bracket at the outside of the pencil mark. With a pencil, mark on the concrete the hole in the middle of the L bracket. Use a 1/2-inch masonry drill bit and a hammer drill to drill a hole into your concrete. Drill a hole that is 1/2 inch deeper than the length of the wedge bolt. Clear all concrete dust from the hole. Use a vacuum if needed. Tap your wedge bolt through the L bracket into the hole in the concrete. Add the washer and screw the nut onto the wedge bolt so a few bolt threads appear above the nut. Tap the wedge bolt down into the hole. Hand tighten the nut until snug. Do not tighten fully yet. Install the wedge bolts for other L brackets. One L bracket for each post of the pergola. After again confirming the L brackets are in line with the template, tighten the wedge bolts fully. Step 3. Set the posts. Slide the bottom of a post next to an L bracket. Use 5 2.5-inch steel screws to attach the post to the L bracket. For now, attach each post to just one L bracket. You will attach each post to a second L bracket once the corner braces are installed. See Step 5. Fasten the other post to an L bracket. When all the posts are fastened to one L bracket, slide the post base moldings down the posts. Use tape or a small screw to secure them to the middle of the post. As you continue, keep the posts plumb to prevent loosening of the wedge bolts. You can use the template to keep the posts plumb and to keep the posts sturdy as you fasten the beams and rafters later. Step 4. Attach the beams and rafters. A helper usually will be needed when setting the 2x8 beams. Your 2x8 beams come with pencil marks drawn on them. These marks align with the outside edge of each post. With the marks facing the posts, lift the first beam into place. Set in the post notches at the top of the posts. Attach the beam to the post using one 2.5-inch screw on each post for now. More screws will be added later. Repeat with the other 2x8 beam on the other side of the post. Make sure that both ends of the 2x8 beams overhang the post edges the same distance on both sides. Measure the distance from the ends with a ruler and do not simply align visually. Even the slightest difference will not allow the rafters to sit into the pre-cut notches on the 2x8 beams. When all 4 2x8 beams are in place, at one end place a 2x6 rafter into the notches of all 4 2x8 beams. This will make sure all the rafter notches are aligned. A helper may be needed to hold the posts in place when positioning the first rafter. Do the same with another 2x6 rafter at the other end of the 2x8 beams. Then, fasten the 2x8 beams to the posts with 4 2.5-inch screws per side of each post. Next, fasten the return beams. The return beams fit between the inner 2x8 main beams. Position them flush at the bottom of the 2x8 main beams, centered in the middle of the post. Attach with 4 3.5-inch screws per end as shown. Use a level to ensure that the posts are parallel with each other. Check that one of the posts is plumb. Then measure the distance between the posts at the bottom. Then be sure the posts are the same distance apart near the top. Double-check all posts with the level before attaching the rafters. Next, make sure that the 2x6 rafters overhang the 2x8 main beam the same distance on both ends. Measure from the beam to the end of the rafter. Slide the rafter until the overhang is the same on both ends of the rafter. Sink a 3.5-inch screw on an angle through the rafter onto one 2x8 beam. Sink 3 more 3.5-inch screws through the rafter into the other 3 2x8 beams. When completed, the rafter will be fastened with 4 3.5-inch screws. Repeat the process with the remaining rafters until all rafters are attached to the beams. Step 5. Attach the top runners and corner braces. Your rafters come with pencil marks on top to show where the top runners are to be attached. These markings are approximately 16 inches on center, or another dimension if the pergola was ordered with additional top runners. There are also pencil marks on the top of each of the 2x2 top runners. Align the pencil marks on the 2x2 top runners with the pencil marks on the 2x6 rafters. Fasten the top runners to the rafters with 2.5-inch screws. Check that the overhangs of the top runners are the same on both ends. Next, attach the corner braces. If your pergola is a 4-post structure, you will have 8 corner braces. 4 of them will be small braces, and 4 of them will be large braces. The small ones will fasten to the bottoms of the return beams. The large ones will fasten between the 2x8 main beams. Fasten the small braces to the posts and return beams using the 5-inch black lag screws. Use 4 screws per brace. Then fasten the large braces. Position a large brace between the 2x8 beams. Make sure the bottom is lined up with the bottom of the small braces. When in position, attach the large brace to the post with two 6-inch black screws. Then secure the brace to the 2x8 beams with 12 2.5-inch screws. Lower each post base trim to the bottom of the post.